Once upon a time, there was a man named Daniel. He was a good man, hard-working, soft-spoken, and deeply devoted to the life he believed God had given him. He had been married for years to Miriam, a woman he once thought was his forever. At the beginning, things looked fine. They shared laughter, built dreams together, and even prayed as one. But slowly, shadows crept into their home. Arguments over little things grew into walls of silence. Affection turned into distance. Trust crumbled into suspicion. Daniel fought. He prayed through the nights, fasted through the days, sought counsel, and endured what many would have walked away from. He hoped desperately that love could be reborn, but the storms of life were unrelenting: bitterness, betrayals, and endless strife. No matter how hard he tried, the marriage would not hold, and when it finally broke apart, Daniel felt like a man stripped of everything. He carried his faith, but even faith felt heavy on his weary shoulders. One evening, while walking alone through the quiet streets after work, but happiness doesn't come without resistance. His past rose like ghosts to haunt him. Friends whispered, "You will fail again." Some family members rejected Sarah, calling her a distraction. Miriam, his former wife, tried to sow confusion, reminding him of promises long broken. And then came the spiritual storms: dreams of failure, nights of fear, voices of doubt. Daniel and Sarah had to fight not just with people but with unseen forces that sought to steal their joy. They fasted together, prayed together, and stood side by side. When the enemy attacked Daniel's peace, Sarah held his hand and said, "We will not be shaken. What God has joined, no storm can destroy." For every tear, there was a prayer. For every challenge, there was faith. And slowly, the battle that once seemed endless began to break. One golden morning, Daniel realized something had changed. He was smiling again, not the forced smile of a man pretending, but the real smile of a soul at rest. Sarah had not just given him happiness, she gave him back to himself. Their wedding day was not grand by earthly standards, but it was glorious in heaven's sight. Daniel stood with Sarah not as a man escaping the past, but as a man redeemed for a future. As they exchanged vows, the winds seemed to still, the battle ceased, and peace embraced them both. Years passed and their love grew stronger, tested but never broken. Their home became a place of joy, laughter, and prayer. To everyone who saw them, they were a testimony that storms may rage but the sun always rises again. Daniel often whispered to Sarah in the quiet of the night, "You are my angel, the happiness I prayed for. You are the proof that after every storm, God sends a rainbow." And together, hand in hand, they lived not just happily but purposefully ever after.